Hello everyone, I'm Cameron Makarchuk here with Reengineer You, Strategies Worth Implementing, and I got a great episode for you today. But before we get into that, I just wanted to remind you guys that you can watch the live episodes as they're being recorded, as I'm sitting there with the guest right in front of the computer. You can comment and ask questions and all that great stuff right from your computer as we do the interview with the special guests that we have on every single week. And to do that, to be able to watch that, either follow me on Facebook, Google Plus, or Twitter, and that's going to be some links at the end of the video. But you can find me, Facebook at Cameron Makarchuk, or Google Plus at Cameron Makarchuk, or you can follow me on Twitter at CMakarchuk. But all those links are going to be for you right at the end of the video, so make sure you stick around and watch those. Watch till the very end so you can get those links. Follow me on those social sites and follow along and stay up to date. And as always, if you like the video and you like what you see in these episodes, I'd really appreciate it if you'd share it, pass it around, like it, +1 it, tweet it, stumble it, whatever you guys like to do with your social sharing networks. Just please make sure you do that, because it really would mean a lot to me if you guys liked it, to share it and really get the word out there about what we're doing and the awesome content that we have from myself and from the people that I talk to on a weekly basis. Okay, so just make sure you do that. That would really mean a lot to me. And last thing before we get into the interview, I just want to talk really quickly about something that I have out for you guys right now. I'm really quite proud of it, and I want to just talk to you about it for one quick second before we get to the interview, and that is Extreme Fat Loss Blueprint, which you can see up above you here right now. So what Extreme Fat Loss Blueprint is it's essentially like being a client with me at my private studio. I've taken everything I do with my personal clients and wrapped it up into a nice little ball and given it to you in a website, which you can see here right now. And it's a completely comprehensive program. I've designed everything from the training programs for you, complete with video demonstrations of every single exercise that you can click right through the members area. You can watch them on your smartphone, your tablet, your computer, whatever you want. So there's no excuses. And as well as a very comprehensive nutrition program as well. So the exact same nutrition program that I've used with my clients to help them lose 20 or 30 pounds, or 50, 60, 70, some over 100+ pounds using the strategies that you're going to get in the Extreme Fat Loss Blueprint. Okay, so, and as well, there's some coaching videos in Transformation Academy. You can go ahead and watch those. You can see them right here, the transformation training, the nutrition program, and I go through, they're each about 30 minutes long, and I essentially go through everything that I talk about with my personal clients. So make sure you go ahead and check that out. It's a really great product, very comprehensive, and takes you through every step of the way from where you are today to losing 20, 30, 40 pounds, or even as much as 70, 80, or 100+ pounds, because I've had everywhere in between. So it is by far the perfect program for you if that's what you're looking for. And everything's right there for you. So go to extremefatlossblueprint.com to check out more information on that and to see an inspirational story of one of my personal clients who lost over 103 pounds using this exact system. So make sure you check that out at extremefatlossblueprint.com. So without further ado, let's get into today's episode of Reengineer You, Strategies Worth Implementing. Hello everyone, and welcome to Reengineer You, the show where we talk to some of the world's finest experts in the world of lifestyle and body transformation and answer the one question of what is the one thing that you guys can change today that will have the biggest impact on your transformation. I'm your host, Cameron Makarchuk, Master Transformation Coach, and I'm super excited about our guest here today. He's a good friend of mine that I've been talking with over the last few months, met him a few months back at a conference, and just a really great, genuine type of guy, and has gone through a huge transformation of his own and is just getting ready to launch a program based on that transformation. So super excited to have him here. Ben Teal, how's it going, Ben?
Great, Cameron. I'm glad to be here, brother. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, no problem, man, no problem. So maybe let's just start off, and you can give us a little background on you and what you've been going through, because I know you got just a fascinating story of what you've been doing over the last what is it, like 6 or 7 months now?
The most recent one's been 6 or 7 months, but for me, it's been quite a long journey. I'm going to say 5, 6 years now. But I'm going to, if you don't mind, I'm going to start about 12 years ago when I graduated from college. When I graduated from college, I was in really good shape. I was an athlete in college. I played baseball, I played football, and left college way back when. I'll try not to date myself too much, but it was last millennium. left college at a very fit 198 pounds. And having been an athlete most of my life, I decided at that moment that I was pretty much done exercising. So it's going to be, a nice little break and all of that, except that over the next 2 years, I stopped exercising like I was in college, but I didn't stop eating pizza and drinking beer like I was in college. So long story short, on the day I got married 2 years later, I was over 300 pounds. So over the course of just 2 years, I managed to pile on over 100 pounds of just fat. I mean, there was no exercise involved. There's, there's no way to sugarcoat it. I wasn't packing on 98 pounds of muscle and 2 pounds of fat. It was 100 pounds of fat. And just a couple months after that, wife and I started talking about having a family, and I started trying to get back into shape. And I originally was just going, I figured I would just fall back on what I knew, a lot of the athletic training. And when I started to do that, I realized that, back when I was doing sports, I was on a very regimented schedule. People scheduled practice for me. They scheduled the workouts for me. They did everything for me. And it was, hours a day of exercise. You'd be on the football field for 2 hours. You'd be on the baseball field for 2 hours. You'd be in the gym for another hour and a half. I mean, you really were exercising a lot. And that's why you can get by with just eating just the tons of garbage you did. When people would say, hey, you have a really fast metabolism. Well, it's not that my metabolism was any faster or slower than anybody else's. It's that I was spending 3 to 4 hours a day in motion. And you don't really realize those sorts of things once you're done being an athlete. And so, I tried all of the fad diets. I drank shakes, bought frozen trays. I gave up carbs. I actually went an entire month, I think, on less than 10 grams of carbs a day.
Wow.
And that was pretty brutal. But
yeah, no doubt.
I would do all of these sorts of things, and I would lose weight for a little while. But as soon as I stopped doing those things, it would all come back. And I would get frustrated. I'd go to the gym, and I'd want to be as strong as I was when I was in college on day one, and it was just frustrating. And so after a while, I started trying various training programs. I'd go online. I'd look for shorter workouts that would kind of fit with my schedule, because at the time my career was also picking up, and I was spending a lot of time focusing on my wife and on my career, and fitness was kind of tertiary to that. And so I started looking for shorter workouts that would kind of fit with that busy schedule, and I found one online, and it was short. I can't remember, 30, 45 minutes was the selling point. And I'm like, okay, I think I can do this 3 times a week. And then and over the course of the kind of this yo-yo roller coaster ride, we had our so this lasted a couple of years. We had actually had our first son, and I can remember very distinctly. I come home from work. I was running a little late, and I come in. I went upstairs. I was putting on my shoes, and my wife came in with our newborn and said, and asked me, "Are you going to miss bedtime again?" And I remember I was crushed, because I never thought of it that way. I just thought I needed to go to work. I needed to get in shape and then spend time with my wife. And it was trying to find time to juggle everything it was killing me. So I stopped tying my shoes. Spent some time with my wife and actually my son named Cameron, and
Good name.
It's a great name. And that night I went and I called the support number for the program I bought, because what was happening was say it's a 30-minute program, but you still had to go to the gym. So there was time spent getting ready to go to the gym, time spent driving to the gym, time spent parking. And then when you got to the gym, if you could get on the equipment, great, you could work out in 30 minutes, but then you're waiting for the equipment. So, the 30-minute workout turns into an hour, and then with all the travel time, that 30-minute workout is 2.5 hours when it's all said and done. And if you add that up over the course of 3 to 4 times a week, you worked an extra day just doing 30-minute workouts. And that's to me, that was insane. So I called the customer support line and asked to talk to the creator of the program, and I actually got the guy on the phone. And as I was explaining to him what was going on, he actually said to me that I was lazy, and that fitness wasn't a priority to me. And the thing is I'm not lazy. I know I'm not lazy. There's no doubt in my mind that I'm not lazy. I'm the exact opposite of that. And then on the priority part, I didn't know, and I still don't know to this day, what part he would want me to prioritize less than all it was. There was my family and my career, and then fitness, and all of those things. They're related somewhat. But that night when my wife said, "You're missing bedtime again," I made the decision that I was not going to sacrifice time with my children for time in the gym. That for me, that's crazy. At the same time, I don't make my living as a personal trainer. I don't spend all of my time in the gym. I have a regular 9 to 5 job that I do every day, and that I enjoy, and I'm not necessarily going to give that up so that I can go spend 2.5 hours driving back and forth to the gym. So I started doing my own research, and to make a long story short, I found a way to do workouts that use minimal equipment, take 20 minutes or less. You can knock them out, do them 3 to 4 times a week. If you want to accelerate the results, you add in some interval training, but really something that was flexible enough to fit in with my lifestyle. And that for the longest time, I actually lost over 100 pounds. Got all the way back down. I don't think I've ever gotten back down to the 198 pounds I was, but at the same time, I never tried to. It was 210 to 220 is been pretty comfortable for me as I've gotten older. But I was in great shape, and so somebody talked me into. And this brings us to we're getting to the last 6 months now. Somebody talked me into doing these Tough Mudder races, right? And the Spartans and things. And I did one, and it was fun, and I got addicted. The thing I realized that I was missing from college, that I didn't know I was missing until I did this, is kind of that adrenaline rush you get at the end, where you're, I've beaten my body up, I'm at the end, I have conquered this race, and that is an addictive feeling. So I have done now, I'm going to say 4 Tough Mudders, 3 Spartan races. I have a few more scheduled coming up. So I've gotten addicted to those. But last September, I was running a 15-mile race, and I hurt myself, actually sprained my big toe about 1.5 miles, 2 miles into the race, and ended up limping through the next 13, 14 miles. And it's if you've ever sprained a big toe, you don't realize how much you use a big toe, and until you've hurt one.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't really ever think about it. And so I go to the doctor, and she's explaining to me that I need to stay off of it for 4 weeks and all of these things. And me being hard-headed, every time it started to feel better, I would go train, and then it would just extend the time. So I would stay off of it for 2 weeks, and then I would go train, and then I'd have to stay off of it another 2 weeks, and then I would go train, and then I managed to make it 3 weeks, and then I would go train, and then every time I did that, I would start over. And so I was working out once every 2 weeks, but again, I was back to you kind of get frustrated when you're kind of immobile, and I started eating again. And pizzas and ice cream and potato chips. I wasn't eating chicken breast and broccoli. I was eating all the stuff that I'm not supposed to. And then September rolls into Halloween. Halloween rolls into Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving rolls into Christmas. I mean, you are eating just tons and tons of food, and I ended up putting on 40 pounds. from September to January, 10 pounds a month. And I got to, we're part of a group of fitness professionals that get together a few times a year. And I remember sitting at the conference, in the conference room, getting coaching on the fitness business aspect of my life. And one of our coaches looking at me and saying I remember it because I wanted to crawl under the desk. I was just embarrassed beyond belief. He said, with all due respect and love, you have to get back into shape. And I was embarrassed. And it's not that I didn't expect it, because I actually went shopping on the way to the airport before I went to that meeting. To pick up some shirts that were kind of baggy, because I was embarrassed. I knew I was out of shape, and here I am with this incredible story of losing over 100 pounds, and then getting hurt, and then just falling off the wagon. But I think we've all kind of, maybe we haven't all lost 100 pounds, but we've all, had those ebbs and flows and those challenges. Maybe your kids get sick and it's easy to get off of your routine, or something happens at work and you go from working 40 hours a week to working 80 hours a week. But life gets in the way, and things happen. So I think, I think it was an opportunity for me, because one of the other coaches at the same time said, you know what, here's what you're going to do. You're going to go and you're going to take a picture of yourself every single day. And I went from being embarrassed to just terrified. Cameron, I think you know this, and I think people that know me very well know this, but in one-on-one situations, kind of like the one we're in now, I have a lot of anxiety, and so when I'm taking a picture in front of a camera, even when I'm in the best shape, I'm anxious about it. And here I am, 40 pounds heavier than I want to be, and I couldn't wrap my head around taking this picture, and but it was a challenge. Somebody had challenged me to do it, and so I took that challenge, and I took the first picture, and I posted it to our group, our internal group, and the thing is once you take that before picture, and once you post that picture, and you share it with the world, then you've started something that is, now you have to. Now it's pride has to overcome the embarrassment, right? And for me it was I'm going to do this for the next 90 days, and I'm going to prove to myself that I can do it, and to the group that I can do it. And over that 90 days, I lost 35 pounds, and I think everybody watching today will be able to kind of see that transformation. There's a video that's available that can show you what it looks like to lose 35 pounds over 90 days. And to put that into perspective, that is 1/3 of a pound of fat each and every day on average. A lot of people talk about losing weight, and you see a lot of before and after pictures, but I think it's very rare to actually be able to demonstrate what that looks like day by day by day by day. And so I'm very proud. I'm very proud of the transformation, and I'm very proud of how far I've come. And for me, I'm personally proud of overcoming the fear of taking the pictures.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, absolutely. And I watched that video the other day of the whole reel thing that you had there, of it going through all the pictures day by day by day by day. And yeah, it's shocking. It's powerful to see that all those pictures strung along together, one after another for 90 days. It's quite a transformation, because when you hear it, it's like, okay, 90 days, lost 35, 40 pounds, that's pretty good. But when you see the actual transformation like that, it is awesome, and it's huge. So yeah, it's something that you should be very, very proud of.
Thank you.
So let's just kind of wrap that all back around. So okay. You're an athlete in high school, very athletic and in good shape. Kind of lost track of it after you got married, gained some weight after that, decided to get back into shape. Couldn't tried the 30-minute workouts, but ended up being a little bit too long and was taken away from your family time and everything. Ended up losing a whole bunch of weight, over 100 pounds, which is awesome. And then kind of got hurt, slowly gained a little bit of a back again, gained the 45 pounds back again. And now back on it again, lost the 40 pounds all over again, and back on top, taking the pictures and back on top of your game. So are you kind of where you'd like to be now then?
No, I'm actually, after, you think it's over, and you get to a point where, 3 months later, I'm sharing the results with the group, and then somebody goes, keep going, right?
Yeah.
So I'm still taking the daily pictures, and I'm keeping going. I want to eventually, I have never personally had abs. At the same time, I've never wanted them.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those things. But now that's the new challenge. So I'm taking pictures until I get abs, and that's it's a lot of fun. I'm starting to have more fun with the pictures now. I mean, you'll see a couple, I think, in the video of me starting to have more fun with the pictures. Mm-hmm. You being from Canada, can appreciate hockey. So there's a picture in the middle there where my alma mater, Yale, won the National Hockey Championship, and there's a big picture of me with my Yale shirt on with my number one up. Yeah. And but now I'm starting to have a little more fun with the pictures, and there's always like a hidden Easter egg picture in there with a goofy hat or something like that, or some bright yellow shorts, or I don't know.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So no, we're still doing it, and I think what I found and what really led to the creation of what I call the high definition system was this transformation was a lot different than the first one, but a lot of the same. So it made me realize that a lot of times the theory of why you got fat in the first place, it doesn't really make a difference, right? Because a lot of people, we get wrapped up, I think, in our industry sometimes around, well, this hormone is out of whack, or you're eating too many carbs, or stop drinking milk, and don't eat broccoli, or whatever the latest and greatest thing is. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think a lot of it is well intentioned, but I think it's a lot of misdirection. Mm-hmm. Because for me, when I wanted to shed the fat this time, it didn't matter why I got fat in the first place. It didn't matter that maybe the pepperonis on my pizza or the alcohol in my beer is what caused me to be fat. I just needed to know what to do about it. What actions can I take right now that will get me on the path? And again, it goes back to the pictures being motivating, because you start to want your day 2 picture to look somewhat different than your day 1 picture. Mm-hmm. Right? So you start focusing on what can I do today to make sure that my day 2 picture looks better than my day 1 picture, or my day 3 picture looks better than my day 2 picture.
Yep.
And when you start to have that kind of micro focus, because we focus on the macro a lot. Even when people were telling you what to do, we focus on, well, set your 12-week goal. Mm-hmm. Great. All right. So what are you going to do over those 12 weeks? I don't know. So yeah. I think that micro focus is what really honed it in, and I went back to the original Metabolic Mayhem plan, and I just pulled out all of my old checklists. I'm a list person. I would say, here's the things I'm going to do today. When I lost 100 pounds, I said, okay, I'm just going to follow the same plan I followed when I lost 100 pounds, and I'm not going to worry about the rest. The rest is irrelevant. Here's what I need to do. Here are the actions I need to take. And it dawned on me that people are a lot like I am. They just want to know what to do. Just tell me what to do. I can follow a plan if you just tell me what to do, and eliminate as much of the confusion and as much of the frustration as possible. So I went back and I took Metabolic Mayhem and I systemized it. And I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to deliver a system to you day by day. And you're going to get day 1, and you're going to get a list of actions to do on day 1. And you just check off the boxes when you're done. And when you're done, you'll get day 2. And just follow those actions. We do start with an overarching it's a 6-week plan. So we start with an overarching 6-week goal, but then we say, here are your daily tasks. Do these daily tasks, and the feedback has been absolutely phenomenal. People love it. They love the simplification. And the fact of the matter is I'm not going to give you 111 workouts. You're not going to get 113 different ways to hang from a monkey bar and do abdominals. That's if you're looking for 111 different workouts and 113 different exercises, I'm not your guy.
Mm-hmm.
But if you've tried stuff in the past, you got confused, you got frustrated, then then the high definition system it's going to work for you if you just follow those tasks. So I think it's a really cool way to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I think I was just, like I was saying before, I was just kind of poking around in the members area there before we started the call, and I mean, the way you've laid everything out is awesome, and I think it's really crucial, like you're saying, to focus on the small things, on the micro goals, the things that are going to get you from day 1 to day 2, and from day 2 to day 3, and all the way down the line, down to that 12-week goal that you have. And I agree with you. I think that's an area that not a lot of people focus on, and I'm bad for that myself. I mean, I'll tell my clients, what's your 12-week goal? What's your 4-month goal? Where do you want to be next year? And I think everyone needs to be a little bit better at fine-tuning things and drilling things down into into those micro goals and the step-by-step process. And that's where I think your program has really hit the nail on the head with those step-by-step processes and with the check boxes and the lists and the sequential movement from workout to workout and just the whole simplification of it. So I think that's really great what you've put together in there.
Thank you. It's what I have found with myself and people I've talked to is for a lot of people, focusing on what they're going to be doing a week from now is hard, right? But I can focus on what I need to do in the next few hours.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's really the key, is to get to where people are taking action. I talk a lot in the program, and actually one of the bonuses is something I call the ultimate willpower weapon. And the ultimate willpower weapon is really a matter of understanding that if I buy Cameron's plan, for example, and I'm going through it and I'm doing the best that I can, I'm trying to follow the plan, that I'm going to make some mistakes, right? The most successful people in the world, whether it be fitness experts, people who lose 100 pounds, people who make millions of dollars, isn't how well they stick to the plan. It's how well they handle the adversity when they don't, right? You're going to have situations where your kids are sick and they're home from school and work backs up and you can't make it to the gym, and you can't overcome your craving for chocolate ice cream, and you have some potato chips, and it's at that point that people give up. They've made decisions and they've been bad decisions, and a lot of it is out of their control. It's not their fault that they've made bad decisions, because life is stressful, and this is how we cope with the stress. But what they can control is that very next decision, right? That next decision is what's going to determine whether or not you're going to be successful. The fact of the matter is, in order for you to put on a pound of weight, you need to eat a pound of food. There's no other way around. The physics doesn't allow mass to be created from thin air, right? So so a pound of food, everybody should go right now to their refrigerator and start pulling things out of it until you have a pound of food sitting on the table, and then think about what that takes to eat. And then 2 pounds and 3 pounds. It turns out that putting on 2 or 3 pounds is an amazing amount of food. And what you have to realize is that okay, let's say in your worst case scenario that you did manage to eat 2 pounds of potato chips. That's only 2 pounds. Maybe in the 4 weeks prior to that you lost 12.
Yep. Right?
So okay, so you put on 2 pounds. You're down 10. Make a decision now that takes you closer to your goal. Every time there's a decision, there's only 2 paths you can take. right? There are decisions that take you farther away from your goals, and there are decisions that take you closer to. And those that make decisions that take them closer to their goals more often are going to be more successful. And so I wanted to include these ultimate willpower lessons with every day because when I was talking about the pictures and I was talking about the embarrassment of our coach saying I needed to lose weight, those aren't physical things. Those are mental things. Those are mental obstacles that we have to overcome. And that was a gap that I saw in my own program, the original Metabolic Mayhem program. And it's a gap that I see in a lot of other programs that you don't really get unless you hire a top-notch personal trainer where, they're talking about the things that you have to think about. How do you make decisions? What are some exercises you can do to make to build your willpower? Because I believe that you can build willpower over time, just by practicing some small things, and it gets easier. It's planning, but it's also what's the series of books, the worst case scenario books. All right, so if I can look at any good fitness plan, yours, mine, the guy down the street, a lot of that relies to some extent on everything going as planned. Everything has to go as planned for the plan to work perfectly. And I don't know for you, but I don't remember the last day that I had where everything went as planned. There's always something, but I do know that if I can think of the worst thing that can happen during that day, let's say, I have to work late, wife's car breaks down, I have to go get her, those sorts of things. If I can plan for what am I going to do in that worst case situation, then everything less than that worst case situation, I have a plan for. Whether that's taking a Metabolic Mayhem routine that's supposed to be done 5 times and cutting it back to 3 times. Just taking some action. The right answer is not skipping your workout. The right answer is fitting as much of that workout in as you can, or even breaking it up into smaller chunks. Doing 10 minutes in the morning and 20 minutes at night, or 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes at night. Just breaking up and making sure you get that in. So it's I wanted to include a lot of that. I wanted to make it special.
Yeah. Well, no, I think you definitely did. You hit the nail on the head. The whole willpower aspect, I think, is awesome, and I think that's a crucial point or a crucial part that a lot of people really miss the boat on, because you're right, things happen and life happens, and I mean, I'm the same way. I don't think I've had a day where everything went as planned for months or years even. And you need to understand how to manipulate your day and how to modify things so you still get something done. You still take that one step forward. And I remember being at the conference with you last time in where were we? In San Diego. And the one thing that I remember, or one of the things that I remember about that, is how our coach was saying something about I can't remember exactly how he put it, but something about the series of bad decisions, and how one bad decision isn't going to throw everything off the rails. It's a series of bad decisions that lead to that bad choice. And at any point during that series, you can switch the series and go a different way and make a better decision that'll lead you down the path to where you want to go, and to just stop making that series of bad decisions.
No, absolutely. If you keep making decisions that take you farther away from your goal, that's what you're going to get, farther away from your goal.
Yeah. And
it's not every decision is going to be in your control, right? Like I said, we're humans. Ice, for whatever reason, God made ice cream to handle stress. I mean, for me, there are very few stress reducers as effective as ice cream.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can't overcome making the bad decision. But like I said, you can challenge the next decision. You don't have to let that spiral out of control.
Exactly.
And, I think that's the key. And I do remember that. That's he was making an excellent point there.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, I know you're busy, so let's kind of bring this all around to a head here. And with all these episodes, I always and I'm glad you're here too, because you kind of touched on this a little bit too. But the whole reason behind this whole show is giving people one thing to focus on. And I like to really boil things down to one thing, just like you were talking about before, having that step-by-step, focusing on one thing every day and not getting too overwhelmed. And so that's kind of the whole basis of this entire show, is giving people that one thing that they can really focus on that will have the biggest impact on their good decisions, on their transformation, and getting to where they want to be in, you know, the 12 weeks or the 4 weeks or the 8 weeks. So what would you say that one thing is for you? What's the one thing that people should focus on today that will give them the biggest impact on their transformation?
All right, so this one's actually really easy for me to answer, and it's at least in my mind. So I'll try to keep it short. I know I like to talk a little bit. Whatever your goal is, you know. So if you're doing a physical transformation, if you're doing, you know, you want to improve your career, you want to, you know, really improve anything in your life. Before you go to bed, decide what the first thing you're going to do when you wake up is. And that thing that you do first has to be something that will take you closer to that transformation goal. So whatever that is, whether that's, you know, getting up and, you know, reading a daily affirmation. You know, today I am going to be positive and happy at work. You know, whatever that is. Or whether it is getting up and saying, okay, I am going to do 10 minutes of workout. I'm going to get out and I'm going to, you know, do 10 minutes of jumping jacks. You know, something that is healthy for your transformation goal. Because what happens when you take that effort, you know, even if it's like I said, 5 or 10 minutes, make the effort towards that transformation first thing in the morning. It sets your mind for the rest of the day that you're going to take a positive action, and you're going to, you know, do this experiment. Go and check email first thing in the morning. You're going to find that during the course of the day, you check email more often than you would if you checked it an hour after you woke up. You know, it's crazy how it works. You know, anytime I've gotten up and I've knocked out a quick 10-minute workout, I find that all of my decisions for the rest of the day tend to focus around how to make sure that I'm continuing the trend towards being fitter and healthier. You know, if I focus on, you know, being a better father. You know, if I get up in the morning, the first thing I do is hug and kiss my children. All I can think about all day is hugging and kissing my kids, because that's it. You start momentum. Momentum, you know, you start that little snowflake rolling down the hill, and all of a sudden you have a humongous avalanche of just positive things happening in your life. So if you can focus on only one thing, whatever you're transforming, first thing in the morning, before you brush your teeth, before you take a shower, take a positive step towards that goal.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think that's a really great thing to focus on, and I've been trying to do more of that myself in more of a business type of aspect. But I think that's crucial. And you're right. I try to keep away from checking email, like you're saying too, in the mornings, and it does make a big difference to set yourself up for what you want to be doing for the rest of the day, and just setting yourself up for success and doing better things with the rest of your day, and moving forward more throughout the day towards where you want to go, wherever that might be, whether it's fat loss or gaining muscle or better business or better relationships or anything. I think that's really awesome and really important to focus on that one thing first thing in the morning to really set your day up for success. So that's really good. So just wrapping up here then, let's so you got this new Metabolic Mayhem program HD coming out here. I think it's awesome. So when's that launching, and where can people find out more about that?
It is launching on July 9th. It'll be open to the public. We're going to have a big 3-day blowout. It's going to be, you'll be able to just head on over to metabolicmayhem.net. When it's ready, you'll be taken right to the page. We're going to get it out there for just a crazy price of $27. You're going to get just tons of daily actions, tons of, you know, mental actions, tons of metabolic actions, lots of printables, lots of videos for $27. I mean, if you watch some of the infomercials on TV, I mean, for just, you know, some follow-along workout programs, you're going to pay $109 over 3 payments.
Mm-hmm.
So $327, just for some follow-along workouts. And I think I think we're delivering massive value with the system. So check it out July 9th. Get there early. Be some fast action bonuses and things like that. But $27 will get you in the door, and in my opinion, it'll help start changing your life.
Yeah, I mean, this video is going to go up on Monday. So, and what's that, the 8th? So Tuesday is the 9th, I believe, right?
Tuesday.
So tomorrow, if you're watching this as the video goes live, it'll be tomorrow on Tuesday, July 9th. And yeah, I highly recommend checking out. Like I said, I was just bouncing around in there a little bit before the call, and it's awesome. It's unlike any other program I've seen before, and Ben just does a great job of touching on that whole accountability and step-by-step process, and really simplifies the whole process of transforming your body, unlike any program I've seen before. So I highly recommend it, and I mean, it's $27. You can't really go wrong with $27. So yeah, I think that's great. So metabolicmayhem.net is where that's going to be. And anywhere else, Ben? Do you have a blog? You have a blog or something too, where people can find out more about you?
It's same site. It's metabolicmayhem.net/blog.
Okay.
And
awesome.
So
Cool.
you can check that out. There's some pretty cool stuff there as well, and we'll be updating that quite regularly. Over the course, not only of the launch, but just as we go. I mean, I have a lot of passion. I have a lot to say. I have a lot of opinions. So I like to get those out there.
Awesome. Good. Yeah, I was overreading a couple of your articles too, and they're really good. You always have a lot of really good stuff up on that blog too. So metabolicmayhem.net/blog is where you can find out more about Ben's great stuff he's doing over there. Any closing thoughts, Ben, before we wrap things up here?
No, just take action. That's the thing. It's I think it's an overused term, and I'm going to alter it a little bit. Take massive, focused action. Don't just take action. Take massive, focused action, and you'll do fine. If you're going to run into the wall, run into the wall running full steam ahead. That's it. Just knock have a chance of knocking the wall down is what I'm saying. So just go hard.
Awesome. I love it. All right. Well, great stuff, Ben. You heard it from the man himself, Ben Teal, an actual Reengineer You success story. Has completely re-engineered himself twice over, not just once, but twice. So that gives extra credit. So great interview. Thanks for being here, Ben. That does it for this episode of Reengineer You. Thanks for watching, and as always, if you guys like this video or want to share it, please pass it on to your friends. Like it, tweet it, +1 it, stumble it, LinkedIIn it, whatever you guys are doing nowadays. Just get it out there, because Ben's got a lot of really great stuff to talk about on this episode and share this information with the world. So that does it for this episode of Reengineer You, and I will see you guys in the next episode.